Hey guys, it's Morgan coming to you with another suspension video. Today we are doing the long-awaited WP Xact new coil forks on the 24 bikes. These ones specifically are coming off of a 24XC. They are the same as on the XCW, just different valving. I'm not going to go deep into the valving in this. I'm going to show you how to service these forks, what they look like inside, kind of dig in, show you what the differences are between that and the 6500 kit and all that good stuff. So also make sure you subscribe, guys, because I'm going to be installing the Del spheres into my 23XC forks here very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see what that looks like and how those are different between those. So we got the forks off here. They're a little bit dirty. We're going to clean them up as we go. But yeah, let's get into it. As with all forks, we're going to chalk them up here in our soft jaws. Get the top cap loose. Got bleeders here. You're going to take those off first. Going to check our clicker settings. Compressions up here, rebounds down there, just like a normal twin chamber fork. $18. Go ahead and check the rebounds while we're at it. 24 out on that. Seems a little bit much. And by backing them all the way out, what that does, guys, just so you know, is it lets you move the cartridges easier because it's not resisting as much flow. It lets you bleed them easier and all that good stuff. You can actually do it without doing that. It just makes life a little bit easier. Got our sweet Highland Cycles fork tool to protect this when we go upside down with it. This is when you take that tool, put it on there. Now we flip her upside down. There we go. All right, guys, now I have not figured out a way to get this bolt out without taking this adjuster off. Maybe someone on here can tell me there's a special tool that someone makes, but I kind of don't think there is. No big deal, it's not hard, it's just a Torx. What is this thing, a 25? I don't know, it's that Torx. .22mm socket, and I'm just going to buzz it off with an impact because that's easy and we're not going to mess anything up. When we come off, no, I hate blocking. All right, boom, now, shoo, that all comes out. Set this over here. And that is interesting. All right, guys, here is the first difference between this and, well, lots of other ones, is that the spring is captured with this little keeper, so you're gonna have to push down like that and get that keeper out. There we go. So I'll take that. Now we can take the spring off. That is definitely different. This spacer is very similar to the 6500. Doesn't go up in the same way. There's no preload adjustment like this, like there are in the 6500s, but other than that, it's very similar. But I'm noticing there's air in this, and this is factory, guys. Like, this is not from, that's interesting. That kind of sucks. See, you Sherco guys that hate me, I can pick apart other ones too. This KTM, there's tons of air in that. That is not cool. So, all right, we're gonna take spacers off. Set them out of the way. Yeah, that should not do that. Does have a hydro stop, and that's actually, so guys, that's interesting. I've had some people complain about the 24 bikes not using all the travel very easily, and even no matter what they do with their clickers. And this would make sense because that hydro stop is huge on this thing. It's usually, they're about half that length. It's just right at the bottom that it engages. This one though is going to engage right there, and you still have a fair amount of travel left. So that's another super different thing. All right, let's take this inner cartridge out, and then we're going to go ahead and disassemble it all the way so we can look at the valving. I'm not going to take the valving apart, but we're going to take it apart, take the the mid-speed valve out so you can see it. I do like it's got some flat spots right there, so you can chuck it up in the vise and hold it without holding it real tight. That's nice. Yeah, and we hate you.
And Race Tech doesn't have that symbol.
That's weird.
They have the Super Moto one for that year, but it's a completely different shop.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah. It will be easy for him. I know. Yeah.
So yeah, if you hear from me around before I go,
I'll tell him to suck it.
I'm just doing the best I can.
Yeah.
Also,
No. All right, guys, there is the compression valve, base valve. Looks pretty much just like a 6500 kit or any other style twin chamber, compression valve. Nothing special about that. Now we're going to drain the rest of this fluid. Now we need a wrench for here and wrench for here, and we will get this thing apart. So that's 27. That's 24. All right, guys, so I chalked this up here because this top nut was super tight. You saw me kind of struggling with it there. So I heated it up because I know how they come apart. I know what they look like and what's all on there, but it's got red thread locker right on it. So I don't know why they do that since it has this lock nut to go against it, but whatever. So we'll take our adjuster rod out, guys. Look, see how it's machined here. You gotta be careful to make sure that goes back in with that up. That's machined like that so that this fits over it. Because I need.
The first day was Alpha, Delta, and Charlie, and the second day was Brava, Alpha.
All right, guys, there we go. There is the mid-speed valve. This is the mid-speed compression. This is the rebound valve. This all looks very normal, like every other WP mid-speed. It's got a top out here, spring to keep it from hitting too hard when it comes out, and bypass holes, all very normal. Looks pretty much just like I would expect. So I'm gonna clean this really good, blow it out with air. I'm not taking it apart because this thing doesn't have that many hours on it. And we'll start putting it all back together, and I'll show you how we bleed this and figure out what they did wrong, because they definitely botched that. The thing was not bled right. If you get the mid-speed valve out, guys, make sure you put a little grease on the threads here so that as it goes back through the seal, it doesn't tear it. take a T-handle, kind of put it on top of that thing, help spin it as it comes through. Just helps that ease through there. Move it, and you can hear that. That's usually a good symbol that, or sign that the seal is still good, so it's making that sound. If it was just kind of no sound, just falling through there, you'd worry about that seal, but it should be good. Then we've got our hydro stop. Which is also the lock nut. And I guess we'll put some more thread locker on here. I've not ever done that on one of these, but I guess we will. And I guess we're gonna have to chalk it back up to get this back on, because it's a kind of a crazy thing that they have it be this tight. And guys, like every other fork like this with the lock nut, you want to run this all the way on, and then we can put our final nut on, so it bottoms out on the rod, and then we'll bring that lock nut back up to it. And really what that does is make sure that you get all the clicks of adjustment that you can. All right, now we're going to take our adjuster. Again, that machine part goes up and out. When you put them in there, guys, you always want to grab it and kind of like push on it and make sure it's moving that spring and the needle down in there. As things get old, this is, like I said, this is bike's basically brand new still, but they can get seized up, and you want to catch that before you put it all back together, because it's not too hard to fix it if it is, but you want to be able to make sure you know. So now I guess I'm going to get some thread locker. I'm going to use some stuck nuts on this thing, put this on there, and bring this up against it tight, and then we'll bleed this. All right, guys, I got it chalked up in here so I can run the nut up tight. There we go. Now we're going to take 24 on that, 27 on the lock nut / hydro stop, and we're going to tighten that up against there. Which again makes me wonder why they put thread locker on there, because I mean, this should lock it down tight, but I'm just going to go together the way they have it. All right, ready to go. Now time to bleed. We got our 5-weight KYB oil is what I like to use. I put a bunch in there. It's up relatively high in there right now. We're going to pump it up and down, bleed it really well. I've got this bleed hole here, so I'll keep my hand over that for now. All right, now that feels really good. Nice and smooth, no clicks, no bubbly sounds coming out. Now there's a machined surface down in there. I can't really, it's impossible for me to show you with my camera setup, but we're gonna drain some of that oil out to get down to where the top of this oil is close to that machined surface. And then we're gonna slide our compression valve down in there. It's going to bottom out, and we may need to take some more oil out. And I don't know, so maybe someone can comment below what the official amount of oil is supposed to be in here. But the thing is, if you go a little heavy on oil, it will bleed out when you compress this thing once it's all in there. So I always go with just a little extra. Definitely makes it easier to bleed and not get air in it. Chalk it back up on those flat spots. Take our tool and push. Now we're going to check it. And that is so much better than it was. So much better. I don't know what Hans and Franz were doing in Austria when they put these things together, but they definitely botched it. Now it's good. This was not why it's in here. It just had a fork seal leak because he got out in the mud and tore a seal early. But now it's going to feel better. I'm not even going to mention anything to him. I'm going to let him ride it, and then I'll check in on him a little way down the road and see if he notices that it feels better. I'm just gonna reassemble this stuff for now, but still got to do seals. So I'm gonna show you how we do that too. If you guys haven't watched one of our fork seal videos, it's gonna be like all the other ones, but some people haven't seen them yet. So get that all on there. Get our spring. Get our fork protector tool on that so I can push down on it nice and hard. This guy, it's kind of weird that they use this system. I've never, it seems different, but whatever. All right, there you go. That's ready to set off to the side, and we'll do seals. All right, just like I said, these seals are like pretty much every other fork seal on earth. I'm gonna get a flat blade in here and be real careful, but there we go. Get that seal, twist that, get that dust seal out of the way. Now we're gonna get our circlip, slide hammer it apart. Looks like this gentleman's been washing his bike a lot because there's a lot of rust in there, so we got to clean that really, really good. Bushings are still in very good shape, as is expected. All right, gonna go clean all this up, be right back. All right, guys, ready to start putting this all back together. Let me give you a little money-saving tip. So we really like SKF seals a lot. They're very good. I think they're the best in the business. They're a little expensive. I think the heavy-duty ones are almost 40 bucks a side now, so like 80 bucks for retail. And they're really good, really great. They got the dual compound seals, which are actually really nice. Those are definitely probably worth the money. But if you're using just normal SKFs, I can show you this, guys. So this is the KTM kit. It comes with dust seals, oil seals, new circlips, washers, and the travel indicators. And if you look at it really close here, it says SKF Schwarz. So these are SKF black. Schwarz is black. So in German. But so these are just SKF seals. They're just black. This whole kit I think retails for around 50 bucks, 51 or $52 for everything, versus 80 bucks or 70 bucks for like the SKF, the green ones. So definitely saving some money for here. And if you guys like saving money and you're going to order online, please consider using our link in the description below for Rocky Mountain ATV. They are the biggest sponsor of the channel. They are wonderful people. They take very, very good care of me. I know they take care of you when you order stuff. If you cannot get it locally, please shop local first. Go to your local dealer, your local shop, buy from them, keep them in business. If you can't get what you need, or you just don't like the guys at your local shop, then go to Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Use our link. Like I said, it's in the description below. You can also go to highland-cycles.com and click the first picture you see as the homepage. and go to Rocky Mountain, buy it from there. We get a little kickback. You get great deals. You get Rocky Mountain bucks and free shipping and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's take this apart and put these things together. All right, guys, grab a seal bullet, put that on there, and then we're going to start with the travel indicator, oil seal. You see which way it's going. Circlip. Excuse me, that's the dust seal. There we go. Now we're dealing with the oil seal. So see, that is the up, that's the down, that's the outside right there. Take that off. Washer, outer bushing, inner bushing, slide together. Take our fork seal driver. Oil seal. Circlip. When you seat this, be careful, guys, not to ding the seal with the screwdriver. I'm going to take that, slam it home, good to go. Take a fork protector, put that on there, down on the ground or in a pan like this so the oil stays in where it's supposed to go. Then I'm going to drop this down over. And there's a hex that this matches up with. You just turn that till it seats. Nice thing about that retainer, the way this works on this, is that now I don't have to like push down to get this thing. So then I take our adjuster bolt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this, chuck it up in the vise, and put just a little more on that to hold and make sure it's tight. There we go. All right, then we're going to put 370 cc's in the outer, and we'll be good to go to do the next one. You can see, guys, this tool even protects it so that the bleeder doesn't stick out. That's really nice. We flip it upside down to set this clicker and put this clicker back on. All right, there we go, guys. As with every fork, you want to push up and down on it, make sure it moves nice and smoothly, and we're good to go. I hope that was informative. So these are very, very close to the 6500. They're not exactly the same, but they're super close. Everything inside basically looks the same. The preload spacer and stuff is definitely different. The hydro stop is definitely different. Way more of a stop. It hits that hydro stop way earlier on these, which again I think is going to speak to why some people are not getting all the travel out of their bike. And that's interesting. I'm wondering if maybe putting some lighter weight outer oil in this. We put 5 weight, that's what they call for. Maybe some 3 weight or 2 weight in there would, since that's really just lubricating oil. For everything else, it doesn't go through the shims. It doesn't have anything to do with the clicker damping or anything like that, the valving. But maybe that would help the hydro stop work a little bit less to get a little bit more travel. I might have to look into that. Stay tuned, guys. We might dive into that on a future episode here. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with the time lapse of me doing the other one.